So there's this viral tweet going around from a Tumblr account from a person named Zan, who is a trans man, detailing the culture shock he's experienced post-transition. It was really eye-opening and interesting to hear that he has been perfectly positioned to gain insight into unique gender dynamics and social conditioning. So I'm just gonna straight up read most of Zan's post to you, because I thought it was incredibly perceptive, and I wanna amplify it, but I don't wanna risk messing up his words or his message. So here we go. I'm pretty quiet about the fact that I'm a trans man, but holy shit.
Why did you have to put the mustache on?
But you know there are trans men who don't wear mustaches, right?
But
I don't know. It's just, to me, it seems very gender normative to do the impression of a trans man you've never seen or heard and then assume that they would have a mustache. But whatever. If you call that inclusivity, good for you, girl. Oppressive ass bitch. Sorry. I'm not gonna lie, man.
That was
you
good.
know what?
It feels good, eh?
Being like
a
a canceling SJW.
It feels good, eh?
Yeah.
I see what they.
Yeah.
I see why they do it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to be a jackass sometimes.
Yeah, you remember?
There is this huge sense of social isolation that comes with being perceived as male, because now people are subconsciously treating me as a potential predator. All strangers, no matter their gender, keep their guard up around me. It made me realize that there is no inherent camaraderie in male socialization, like there is in female socialization, unless, of course, it's in very specific environments. And the fact that I don't ambiently experience this mutual kinship in basic exchanges anymore is an insanely lonely feeling. You know how bad this would have fucked up my mind if I had grown up like this? It is 4:30 a.m. and I'm mourning the loss of a privilege I didn't know I had.
Yes. Yes, welcome.
Yeah.
Put it there. One of us. One of us. One of us.
To summarize, a woman becomes a man and realizes it's hard. And I ain't talking about the dick, you feel me? It's just difficult. Yeah, you're a cis male. Yeah, shit's hard. I am. Shit's fucking, it's not easy.
It's just that we make it look easy.
I mean, this is not easy. She's talking about like everyone sees you as a predator. I know. Yeah. Listen, sometimes I'll just be walking home late at night and a bitch will be in front of me and I know she's scared. I'm like, I ain't trying to touch you. Like, but you acting terrified, so now I gotta watch how I didn't do nothing. I wanna go home, masturbate, but she's over there trembling like I'm about to jump her from behind. I just existed. And I understand why.
Like when I cross a girl in the street, and I cross a girl, she's right there. I'm right walking my line, right? She's walking her line. I'm walking my line. If she looks away, I gotta look away, just to show her that I am not interested. I am not trying to make a move, boo boo. I'm not going there. You know what I mean? So I have to walk and look away. If she looks at me, and we cross eyes, and she smiles, I gotta smile, look down, and look away for her to keep on going, knowing that she just when she's when they do that, white people they see black people and they go like, that's across a girl. Yeah. She does.
You do everything.
I just move on. Bruh. Yeah.
Bruh.
And I've done shit, but it is what it is.
I used to think women liked animals, so when I would walk by them, I'd be like, shit doesn't work when it comes from a man. It don't work when it comes from a man. I'm just saying. You don't like me? Listen, I don't even go to parks so I don't want kids around. I don't want nobody. If I see kids, there's a meme.
No.
In a TV show.
I'm closing that
Don't
shit.
keep the kid away from me.
Oh, yeah. We're not doing that.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys a step up, okay? This is something that, you wanna know how deep this shit goes? This is something that I know is true, that's fucked up, that even you watching, you would say, oh yeah, I think that way as well, okay? Women and men, watch it right now. This is something that you think, any of you motherfuckers have kids? Great. You go to a daycare and there's a man working there, you get suspicious. In fact, most women I know have openly admitted that they would not leave their kids in a daycare with a man. Here's where it gets worse. Men also share that sentiment. Now, understand what this means. A man has simply existed, done what they like, and assumed to be a predator. In fact, there's plenty of daycares that will not hire men for that very same reason. This is not an exaggeration. You can do some Google searches, okay? Men will tell you it's very difficult for them to teach young children or any of this stuff because they get asked weird questions or there's a heightened sense of security around them. Now, look, I'm not here to come after the parents. I understand as a parent, that's your seed. You want to protect them. You're like crazy about protecting them. But I also want to appreciate it's not fair that I just simply exist in the world and I'm immediately see, but that's what it is.
But there's nothing we're going to do about
That's
that.
it. I don't piss and moan. I don't cry about it, but it's the fact. It's a fact.
A girl seeing a kid, oh, your kid is very beautiful. Me seeing a kid, your kid is cool. I ain't saying nobody beautiful.
Nope.
That little shit ain't beautiful.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Frankly, this is something I would have never understood without living the experience. It is now blatantly clear to me that most cis men probably experience chronic emotional malnutrition. They're deprived of social connection just enough for it to seriously fuck with their psyches, but not enough for them to realize that it's happening and what's causing it. It's like they're starving.
Okay, stop. You're using your standards as a woman and assuming that because we don't have the same lived experience as you, that therefore we are fucked up or something terrible is happening to us. What? We are built different. We have different needs. Now, whilst there is a lot of overlap between men and women, it's not because we don't go through the exact same experience as you that it's inherently making us malnourished or whatever. All right? The same way that trans woman who became a trans man isn't a man. Not in the way that cis men are. She doesn't have our lived experience of having lived as a young boy and a young man their entire life. So she's got her own, or he's got his own experience. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm trying to say?
And we cannot deny that.
Yes.
That would be denying the whole experience. It would be like saying, I don't see color. No, you're denying all the experiences that person is living.
I can't understand what it's like to be a trans man. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine what it's like to have been born a female, okay, and then gone through your whole life, a sizable portion of your life as a woman, and then transition and all those things. The same way the trans man can't understand what it's like growing up as a young man and then growing into that. You don't understand.
It's like they're starving, but they don't know this because they've always been served 3 meals, except those meals have never been big enough. This deprivation comes from all sides of the aisle, by the way. In the case of women, when I'm out in public and interact with them, all of them come off as incredibly aloof, cold, and mirthless. I have never experienced this before, even though I know exactly what this composure is, the armor that keeps away creepy-ass men. As someone who used to wear this myself, I know that this armor is 100% impersonal. Nobody likes wearing it, and I can say with absolute certainty that women would dump the armor in favor of unconditional companionship with men if doing this didn't run the risk of actual assault. Trust me when I say that women aren't just being needlessly guarded, but I only have complete understanding of this context because I've experienced female socialization. If I hadn't, I would have thought this coldness was a conspiracy against me devised by roughly half the human population. Even now, with all I know about navigating the world as a woman, I am failing to convince my monkey brain that this armor is not social rejection. And as for male socialization, again, it seems taboo for a man to be platonically intimate with men for reasons I have yet to fully understand, but I think it boils down to A, the fact that society teaches boys that it's not okay to be soft with each other, and B, garden variety homophobia. Our media only shows men being intimate with one another when they're teamed up against a dire situation.
Yo, listen. Garden variety homophobia. So the reason why I'm not touchy-feely with my homies is because I don't like, or I have some internalized fear of like.
That's gay.
Hey, let me ask you, do you ever have temptations or do you ever have like a desire to have a dude hug you? I have literally never thought this in my life, not even I've thought about murder. I've thought about throwing things off of buildings, people off buildings. I've thought about a lot of stuff. You know, because my imagination will go everywhere. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people writing this down like, I was a murderer in waiting. No, calm the fuck down. We all have extreme crazy thoughts. I've literally never thought of like, yo, why won't my nigga hug me?
No, not the why will my nigga hug me, but yeah, sometimes I see my motherfucker and I'm like, yo, you good? I'm good. All right, man. We have a long talk and everything is all good. And we have a long talk. They open up and like, yo, put it there, man. We good. All right.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna be like, He didn't hug me today. No, that doesn't happen like that. No, that's not what it is. But sometimes you see your friends, you know, how can I put this way so you can understand really simply? We
are not women. But the reason why you're not women is because of culture and the way that
shut that shit up.
Oh my
okay,
geez.
So the reason that we show look. Do you know what? You can't even understand. I don't think even you saying that you don't even understand why between men this does. Watch. Yo, what's good?
Oh yeah, this shit
different. A good one. A good.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? You good? You don't.
That's it right there. That shit.
You don't understand what this is.
Nah.
You think it's just like blah, 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 blah.
In fact, how intensely you do it is generally an indication of how
close you are with your
or how long you haven't seen them or whatever it might be. Like when you ain't seen your people in a long time, you make sure it's extra to relate to them that you're that happy. So it's not that we don't have that kind of feel. We just reserve it for special times or when we need it.
And we just have different ways of doing it too.
And it's not like it's something that we're lacking. I've never thought to myself like, oh my days, I'm in need of physical intimacy from my. It's not what I look for.
Okay, let me break it down for you. All right, there's a couple of things that we do. All right, peak games. You know something sometimes. You girls are gonna be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, you're so good, you look so good today. We just like, yo, this is you right there.
Yeah.
Shit, it is you. Yeah, and when we give
that shit works.
And when give me your hand, we're gonna just point at a motherfucker while we give that hand. It's you, no, it's you.
I never done that before.
No, but some of us do. All right, there's some levels to this shit. It's like, yo, I see you. Yeah. You understand? And it's quick. But we're not gonna stay on that shit. No. But that the handshake,
right?
Have you seen basketball players with the whole intricate handshake?
Yeah.
That means something. It's a history. Yeah. It's a recall and a recollection of all the inside jokes they have together. They put in the handshake to say, remember this, remember this, remember this, remember this. Yeah, I feel you. All right, I'm happy to see you. It says all that, but just this and how loud it is. That's a hug. Yeah. You're probably never gonna understand that because that's not what you be doing with your homies.
I ain't never done that to a girl. Ever.
I have, cuz some of my friends are studs.
Hey, listen, just because they like cosplaying as dudes, you know what I mean, don't mean you need to treat them like one.
Yeah.
They're still feminine, they got a feminine side. Be kind to them.
Yeah.
All right, give them a good hug.
Absolutely. All right? But it is what it is. So there's some things that you're not gonna understand.
And I'd bet real money it's a huge ass reason why men gravitate towards activities that simulate being teamed up against an opposing force. But men are not machines of war. Yeah, testosterone absolutely gives you dumb bastard brain, but that just makes you want to skateboard a wagon down a hill or duct tape your friend to the wall, not kill someone. The human species looks so much colder standing from this side. I can see how men might convince themselves that their feelings of emotional desperation is personal weakness, as opposed to a symptom they're experiencing from white imperialism.
White imperialism? So you think that the reason why men are stoic all over the world is because of white imperialism?
White people.
What the? Hold up. Let me be fair to Anna here. She's reading what this person wrote. However, she says that it echoes things that she finds are very interesting, or if she's not pushing back on...
Is she still reading now?
She's still reading it, okay. But she's not pushing back on, I'm assume that she tacitly agrees. But I'm not going to comfort her. What I'm going to say is, why? Listen, this kind of stoic behavior exists all over the world.
And there's a lot of different factions.
There's a lot of different reasons. But generally it's because one of the reasons, and probably one of the primary reasons, because when you're the primary breadwinner, when you're the one who puts food on the table for your entire family, especially in places where life is tough, you don't have the luxury or the time or the space to constantly be emotionally open. You got shit that needs to get done. My mom wasn't the most emotionally open person. Why? Because she was so busy doing this and doing that and working like crazy, it wasn't an opening available to her. You get what I'm trying to say? Now, if you want to say, we are now in a place now where people don't have to struggle as much, so there can be a little bit. I think that men today are far more open emotionally than they've ever been before.
Amen.
It takes time. There's an adjustment period. But it doesn't mean that the whole process is suffering or anything like that. Stoicism, I'm not going to lie, ladies, some of y'all could need that. Some of y'all need that. Some of y'all need to learn to shut the fuck up sometimes, because not everything that you feel needs to be voiced. The same way, man, sometimes need to learn to open up a little bit more. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But we've definitely seen progress. We are not the same place today that we were 20, 30 years ago. Well, okay? And people speak about this character. I'll just finish. This character is like men who never shed them. Listen, dudes will watch a dude cry on television. They'll see a dude cry during a moment. And they won't just be like, what a fucking loser. No, generally they're very accepting and open of it. Just recently, we covered a video of a dude getting a call from his mom because he cheated something, and then he started breaking out crying. Nobody thought that shit was lame or weird, right? So that's the advancements.
And
you disagree?
a lot of people, a lot of men in the comments were saying, I shed a tear with him. I shed a tear with him.
Because the human condition is as essential for our well-being as water is. So sick, how sick, I want to destroy this garbage. End quote. And wow, right? Just wow. You know, I have been in a place where I'm really trying to unpack a lot of things that have been taught to me that don't serve me, and that may be pretty outdated. Like, you know, Pluto isn't a planet anymore, Neanderthal is pronounced Neanderthal, so maybe the foundational knowledge I have about more important things like gender dynamics, maybe the things that were taught to me when I was tiny, impressionable clay just aren't valid anymore. And look, even saying like female privilege makes me want to recoil, but I like that I'm really aware of how much I am rejecting that phrase and idea. Because when I listen to the words of Zan, who has crossed the gender divide, I agree, like having close, intimate, high quality friendships is an absolute privilege. And I can see now how my gender sets me up in Western society to have that. You know, I'm a baby queer, and I think we're learning all the time. Hopefully, we're learning all the time how to unpack the biases and falsehoods that we've been given by a generation.
What's baby queer?
Why are you asking me?
I feel like you're the one who's got the plug to the LGBTQ community, so I'm asking you because generally you're more.
I do, but I'm not in on all the secrets.
Okay.
And maybe baby queer is something that she made up.
I'm not going to Google it, so y'all can let me know. I'm just not. Now listen. I did pansexual.
What's a baby queer?
I did demisexual, and demisexual was the last one, bro.
Baby queer. Okay, let's not.
Baby queer sounds.
Yes. It
sounds like child predation.
Yes,
yeah. Sounds like something that should be illegal. All right, let's carry on.
Well, that's a baby queer. I'm sorry.
Bro, if you don't get your ass off of Epstein Island right now,
sorry.
This channel about to end. Those words are never to be uttered again. I'm not going down with this shit. You cast away by your own, Wilson. All right, let's keep playing.
You know, it takes work for us to look at why we think what we think, and more importantly, how do we dismantle it? And I can't count the amount of times I've made like stupid jokes about how men are trash.
I could definitely see you saying men are trash.
Yeah.
You definitely look at the title.
Yeah, and not so much a joke.
And so some of the work I've been doing specifically around gender is to just intentionally and actively look at why do I think that? And what is the male experience, whether it's cis or not, and how am I contributing to the toxic masculinity in that space? How am I making it unsafe for men to express themselves emotionally? And what am I taking for granted as someone who is female identifying and assigned at birth? And all of this means like really taking accountability for the ways in which we move through the world consciously and unconsciously. And that is exactly what I loved about Zan's post. Like, yes, okay, women are overwhelmingly the majority of victims when it comes to sexual assault and murder. I'm not gonna pretend otherwise. But outside of that really extreme violence, in what ways can I as an individual take care of other human beings regardless of how they identify?
Next time she gets cat calls, she'll be like, hey, what's up, nigga? That's how you can help. Don't do that. Don't do that. If somebody's cat calling you, don't.
Baby queer is really just when you just
moving on.
Just came out.
All right, let's go.
And in what ways can we work together to dismantle old systems that are leaving half of the population incredibly lonely?
All right, yeah, she does agree with everything. Okay, I watched enough to know she agrees with everything the person says. What did you think about this whole thing? My conclusion?
If you didn't know, now you know.
Yeah.
If you didn't know, now you know. And shout outs to you, Zan. And yeah, if you didn't know, now you know. It's good that you know. But it doesn't mean that we're depraved in any kind of things or whatever, whatnot.
You know, but you don't know.
Also.
Oh, something's wrong with y'all. We don't think so. We know better. Why? Because we're women and we live better. Okay, cool. It's a bit presumptuous. That's all I'm trying to say. This assumption is a bit much. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's guys right now who really feel like what she's describing and could use a lot of physical intimacy and could use like more of their male friends giving them hugs and love and all that stuff. And if that's you, then congratulations. You get a chance to leave a comment and enlighten us. Maybe we're unaware.
Probably.
But nah.
Probably not.
Yeah, it's just, I've heard this kind of rhetoric before. This is not new for me.
No.
Essentially, the problem is toxic masculinity. Yeah. It manifests in your inability to hug your nigga when you look. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Because of toxic masculinity, you don't know how to open up to you. So, that's not my experience. Those are the experiences of a lot of the dudes I know. But again, that's my own biases. Maybe that's my own biases.
Maybe there's some people out there.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree? We want to hear from you. Let us know. Anything you want to say?
Baby queer.
Yo, men are really trash. And this guy's evidence, bro.